A Big Mac in 1960 cost us 45 cents. Today, the same Big Mac costs 6 USD. This is 13 times more. In the US Consumer Price Index, food prices over the past 100 years went almost 30 times up, with an average of 3% per year, and the prices kept going up and up and up.
Inflation is the highest we've seen in 40 years. It's affecting everything in our day-to-day life.
The big losers from inflation, average and low-wealth families.
Over the last 100 years, the Federal Reserve has created bubbles and burst them, enslaved us with debt, and destroyed our purchasing power through inflation. Yes, it's been a wonderful lie for the bankers. There are striking parallels in Frank Capra's It's a Wonderful Life to the lies and tricks that real bankers used to create the Federal Reserve. Human nature doesn't change, and the greedy elite of 1913 and 2013 look and act a lot like Potter, the banker in the movie. And many Americans are left like George Bailey, staring into the abyss as their dreams collapse and they face financial ruin. Do we live in a country that looks a lot more like Pottersville than Bedford Falls? What does Frank Capra's film show us about how we got here and how we can get out? When the Federal Reserve was created 2 days before Christmas 100 years ago, it was a culmination of 6 years of fraud, fear, and manipulation. The Panic of 1907 was used to shape public support for the Fed. The panic was triggered by rumors that 2 major banks were about to become insolvent.
Fair to say you simply flooded the system with money?
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally. So we, as a central bank, we have the ability to create money digitally, and we do that by buying treasury bills or bonds or other government-guaranteed securities, and that actually increases the money supply. We also print actual currency, and we distribute that through the Federal Reserve banks.
And this is how it's done. This is how Fed can print money. Traditionally, in order to avoid losing money, we need to proceed with investments, either gold, silver, land, stocks, and many others. The idea of keeping the money under your bed won't work. This is the traditional method. However, the system has flaws. The fight against inflation is not easy. In any of the investment, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. The story kept going on and on. The money printers were able to bail out their friends. In 1983, an American computer scientist at Berkeley, Chow, known as pioneer in cryptography, privacy-preserving technologies, and also known as the inventor of digital cash, is the first known proposal for a blockchain protocol, the technology that would change everything. Several years later, the first digital currency from an unknown creator appears. The Bitcoin is alive.
Let's move on to Bitcoin, shall we? That's a virtual currency.
We're going to talk about the cyber threat now. And who's ever heard of the Bitcoin?
It's even been called the future of money, the Bitcoin.
For more on this cryptic and still somewhat confusing currency that is Bitcoin.
People are fascinated by anything that makes new highs every day for weeks on end, which Bitcoin has done.
Is it a market? Is it a bank? Is it an exchange?
We're asking whether or not this currency really has any longevity, let alone legitimacy.
Do you ever think that it has the potential to replace traditional paper currency?
It is gold 2.0.
Cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin is the first example. I believe they're going to change the world.
It was the start of the revolution. Bitcoin and thousands of cryptocurrencies were created. Code recorded on a digital ledger, embedded in Nakamoto's code for the first batch or block of Bitcoin, was newspaper headlines. A powerful message. From fractions of a cent in 2021, Bitcoin passes 60,000 per coin and reaches almost 70,000 in end of 2021. The creation of several cryptocurrencies followed, and the market reached 2.5 trillion capitalization. A decentralized system finally proves that can work without institutions, with ultimate transparency in the process due to the revolutionary technology. Promising anew, the system tries to fight it back. Due to its high volatility, the coin manages to lose 2/3 of its value. They start to spread, that is like betting in a casino. JP Morgan said that the value will go to zero, yet several months ago, they said that the fair value should be at 38,000. The biggest gamblers of all time accuses us for gambling. The reason? Fear. They lost control from the beginning as they didn't expect the reaction, the public reaction. The traditional banking system as we know it has changed completely. More and more institutions and central banks want to create their own digital coins, admitting their own defeat. The average Bitcoin holder knows really well that we can't hear.